I'll open the door to let the people in.
They just opened fire on him.
What the f just happened?
They killed him. They just opened fire on him.
What? Did he do something?
So this video was sent to me by a listener of the Pat McAfee show, and they asked me to do a 1-0 cop's opinion on it. When I first watched it, I'll be honest, I was like, oh my God, am I watching a bunch of cops just murder this guy? Because it looks bad. But the investigator in me said, man, that's an awful lot of cops making a fatal mistake at the exact same time. There's got to be more to this story. So I got on YouTube and I tried to find another camera angle of the same shooting, and I found one that shows a much different perspective. Let's take a look. Okay, exits the SUV and clearly points some at the officers. Right there, it's a gun. Let's watch it again in slow motion. Okay, he has a gun already drawn. He points it at the officers. They gun him down. He drops the gun on the street. You see it fall out right there. A much different perspective than we watched in the first video. Okay, so what we have here is something that unfortunately happens way too often. A person in the media or a person on the street captures a video of a cop shooting or some kind of other serious event that takes place with cops, and then they release it on the internet for millions to see. Then millions of people watch it, and millions of people form their opinion of what happened based off what they see in that video. And that's what happened here. When we watched that first video, after we were done, we were all like, oh my God, let's watch a bunch of cops murder an innocent dude in the middle of the interstate. Well, that's not what happened. But the people filming it on their cell phone actually believed that's what they were witnessing. You could hear them say things like, they just opened fire on him, and did he even do anything wrong? And he had his hands up. Because here's what happens. When someone witnesses a traumatic event, things go very quickly. Weird things happen to you physiologically when you see that. Your brain misses things. It tries to race to the end of the story before it's ready, and it causes you to miss important elements of that story. So you're left with holes in your brain, and your brain doesn't like those holes, so it decides to fill them in with false data in order to complete the story. And you're left with the final version of that story that's less than accurate. That's a real thing that happens. That's science, and you have to be mindful of that. These people didn't release it out of malice. They released this video out because they thought they just witnessed a horrible tragedy and cops doing something wrong. But that wasn't the case. We did our homework, did our due diligence, found a second video of the same shooting from a much different perspective, a much different angle, from a helicopter, that actually showed us that what these people on the street witnessed were cops ordering a man out of his SUV, and when he finally did so, he produced a handgun, pointed it at the cops, started moving toward them, and they gunned him down because they had no other choice. This was a justifiable shooting. So, based on this illustration, this is what I ask of you. I was a cop for 21 years. I know a lot of cops. Bad cops are a real thing. We've seen them on the internet, and they should all be held accountable. They should go to prison for what they've done. But that is a rarity. That is a very minute percentage of the cop population. Most cops are great people, and they put their lives on the line every day to protect their community. So do me a favor. Realize that the last thing that a cop wants to have to do in their career is take a human life. That's a very big deal to us, and we take it very seriously. So if you see a viral cop video where that happens, think for a minute that you just watched that cop make the most difficult decision of their life, and that maybe there's more to this story that I'm not seeing. Do your own homework. Explore the facts, complete the picture as truthfully as possible before you decide to share that video with your friends and feed this anti-cop media craze that's going on. That's all I ask. Thanks for watching. This has been 1-0 Cop's Opinion.